So it is officially Black Monday in the NFL, and it's also the official start of the Chicago Bears offseason. And they have already requested a few names to interview in search of their next head coach. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Bears Yard. This your boy Vipe. And the first name that the Bears have requested to interview is none other than the man himself, Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator. I don't know how many of you all watched the Lions and the Vikings game last night, but Ben Johnson put on an absolute masterclass in the Lions victory. 31 points on that Vikings defense, on that Brian Flores defense of the Vikings. Ben Johnson, as you know, far and away my favorite, the one that I want to be the next Bears head coach. We have officially requested to interview him. But he is not the only coach on the Lions that the Bears have officially requested to interview. The Bears have also put in a request to interview Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, who also did a masterful job last night against the Vikings, holding that high-powered offense to 9 points. Even though the Lions have a lot of people out on the defensive side of the ball, Aaron Glenn still kept it together with those guys, and they put up a masterful performance last night. So Aaron Glenn will also be interviewing for the Bears job. And also important to note, both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn can be interviewed by the Bears this week, since the Lions do hold that number one slot in the NFC for the playoffs, and the Lions have the bye week. The earliest that the Bears can interview both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn is Wednesday of this week, so I expect those interviews to happen very, very quickly. You're watching Bears Yard, your home of opinionated Chicago Bears talk, Monday through Friday, right here on YouTube. So if you don't want to miss an episode, hit that subscribe button. The next guy that the Bears have requested an interview with is Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Petzing. I don't really know about this one. The Cardinals did have the 11th ranked offense this year, and I know that he has some ties with Kevin Warren, so I'm guessing that's why he got an interview request. But Drew Petzing is also a name that the Bears will interview for their upcoming head coaching search. And the last name that has been requested as of now is Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver. Now, Weaver, he's a name that's been thrown out there in the last 48 hours. But Diana Russini of The Athletic officially reported today that the Bears have requested an interview with Anthony Weaver. The Dolphins do have a pretty solid defense. I think they're ranked top 10 this year. So he's a viable candidate. But I just want to caution you all about overreacting to certain names that the Bears interview. Remember, the Bears have to fulfill the Rooney Rule as it relates to people that they interview for this opening, which means the Bears must interview two external, not internal, meaning people not employed already by the team, but two external candidates that have to be minority or women. And Aaron Glenn and Anthony Weaver both would fulfill the Rooney Rule when the Bears interview them. So they may or may not be serious candidates for the job. I tend to believe that they're not really that serious as far as their chances of landing the job, but they do fulfill the Rooney Rule. The Bears will also interview Thomas Brown for the head coach opening at some point. We don't know when. But Ryan Poles has come out and said that he will give Thomas Brown an interview, but interviewing Thomas Brown would not meet the Rooney Rule since he is an internal candidate because he's already employed by the team. Now, a couple of points to note about this head coaching search so far. The Bears have not yet put in an interview request to interview Mike Vrabel. I'm confused, especially given the fact that this leader of men trope has been so talked about lately, and Mike Vrabel definitely fits the leader of men trope to a T. I'm very surprised that the Bears have not reached out to interview him. I mean, they could have done it last week. I don't know why. I kind of thought that maybe it meant that Ryan Poles could be fired, but the fact that there are interview requests going out and we have heard nothing about Ryan Poles' status tells me that Ryan Poles is not going anywhere. He is the one that will be leading the head coaching search. And for whatever reason, we have not requested to interview Mike Vrabel, even though the analysts have expected us to. Also, names like Liam Cohen, Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Brady, the Bears have yet to request an interview with any of those guys. Now, I think there's a reason for that because all of those coaches are going to be involved in this upcoming wild card weekend, the wild card round of the playoffs. So the Bears would not be able to interview them anyway until next week. So because of that, I think that's the reason why the Bears have not officially requested an interview with any of them. You could talk to Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn this week. You cannot talk to Liam Cohen this week. You can't talk to Cliff Kingsbury or Joe Brady this week. The New York Jets have requested an interview with Joe Brady, even though, again, they can't talk to him till next week. So I don't know what's holding the Bears back from requesting interviews unless they just don't want to talk to them. I don't know. It's very weird. One more point of order, Diana Ruthini also brought up the fact that even though the Bears can't interview him as of yet, they are interested in talking to Broncos defensive coordinator Vance Joseph. Again, a Kevin Warren connection, so be on the lookout for that. I'm guessing that there will be a formal request put in to interview him at some point. But Bears fans, how do you feel about these initial group of men that the Bears want to interview for their head coaching search? Drop a comment, and if you want more opinionated Bear talk, check out that video right there.